In the White House?
Good morning, Andrew. Keelan Hughes, the Washington Examiner. Do you have any just opening remarks just before you walk in today about your cooperation with the committee? Do you want to say anything about, how Biden's doing currently right now after his visit?
What do you plan to tell the committee?
Holy macadamia nutnez nation. I don't even know where to begin with today's insane developments. I mean, happy Friday. It is September 5th. I've got so much to share with you. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, your favorite snack. Your boy Nez is going to take care of everything. When I say I don't even know where to start, I literally don't know where to start. But, obviously we're going to talk about the AutoPen debacle culminating in some now new leaked emails. I'm going to share that with you. But I think it would be best to start off with these two blockbuster revelations. So, Secretary of Health and Human Services Bobby Kennedy, who faced a lambasting yesterday by the mook Democrat hypocrites, who are all basically sponsored by Big Pharma. I'm going to share you a stat really quickly. There's a new revelation. I want to share this with you first. Check this out. This could be absolutely massive. So RFK Jr. is set to perhaps reveal a new report indicating the causes of autism, where he says that one of the main causes could be using Tylenol during pregnancy and having a folate deficiency. And now he's saying it may be linked to autism. This is per major resources, major reports. If this is true, Big Pharma is about to lose their bananas. So he's also reportedly plans to state that folinic acid could be used to lower autism symptoms. Now, this has not been released yet in full transparency and full honesty. I always try to give you the best of the best in a very ethical standard, but there are very, very strong reports that he is going to release this very soon. And when he does, your boy Nez has got you covered and we'll give you the scoop. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. And by the way, the parent company that owns, obviously, Tylenol, their stock just dropped 10% before the closing bell today due to this bombshell alleged report that's eventually going to come out very, very soon. I want to hear from you. If this is absolutely true, and if this report can actually scientifically, evidentially based prove that there is some kind of link to taking Tylenol when you're pregnant and autism, what do you think should happen? Let me know in the comments. By the way, Health and Human Services staff, Kennedy himself, Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr., Bobby, they all watch this show. Let them know what you think. Okay, the second bombshell report that I want to share with you is Rand Paul says that he has just discovered some new revelatory findings that will absolutely shock the entire world when it comes to Anthony Fauci. I'm going to play for you this clip. He went on Joe Kern's show, The Squawk Box, just the other day. I want to play this clip for you. This could be monumental.
The big question is the AutoPen, whether AutoPen pardons are constitutional or legal or lawful. We do know that when President Obama first signed a law by AutoPen, when he came back from his trip to India, he quickly did sign it in person to make sure it was seen as being legitimate. So I think there is some question there. I can tell you that we are pouring through millions of bits of data on Anthony Fauci. There will be a subpoena in short fashion, and there also will be news in the next week or two about things that we have found from poring over the records. There's going to be significant revelation about Anthony Fauci in the next week.
Holy mackerel. Are you kidding me? Tell me that doesn't sound mouth-watering. Nez Nation, holy mackerel. It's just so phenomenal to see all this stuff come around 180. I mean, from the greatest political revolution in politics, the greatest comeback ever by our guy, President Donald J. Trump, and everything they tried to do to him, everything they lied about, it's all coming back. This is the most beautiful era to be alive, I promise you. Okay, speaking of the AutoPen, let's get into it. Check this out. Okay, I'm going to show you this email in just a second, but new revelations have occurred from the House GOP Oversight Committee, which all came to a head on the late night of January 16. Essentially, the charge is that not only did President Biden not have any oversight over who was using his AutoPen for the commutations of God knows how many criminals, drug dealers, and people like Fauci, like Rand Paul mentioned there, and so many more. but there was actual conversation documented about whether or not he was even consulted. So then White House Staff Secretary Staff Feldman, a key gatekeeper of the presidential AutoPen, wrote to West Wing lawyers she needed evidence Biden had consented before she authorized a mechanical signature on one of the most sweeping acts of clemency in American history. She writes in this email up here, I'm going to need, look at this, Michael, thoughts on how to handle this? He doesn't even review the warrants. You can see at the top there, this is from Taisha Dixon, one of the White House aides there, sent Thursday, January 16th, 2025, right before President Trump's inauguration. And then down here below, and let me just kind of go through it here step by step. I'm going to need an email from Deputy Assistant to the President, Rosa, on original chain confirming P, President, signs off on the specific documents when they are ready. Feldman wrote to 5 other Biden aides at 9:16 p.m. 6 minutes later, Deputy White House Counsel Taisha Dixon, what you just saw earlier, forwarded the message to Michael Posada, Chief of Staff to the White House Counsel's Office. Michael, thoughts on how to handle this? Dixon asked, adding in reference to the documents authorizing clemency. He doesn't review the warrants. What? You're the President of the United States, and you are just like, you're passing consequential policies, legislations, commutations, and God knows what else, and you don't even review the warrants? I mean, am I nuts or is this nuts? Okay, talk to Steph, Posada replied to Dixon at 10:06 p.m. We will just need something from Rosa once the documents are ready, confirming that the 21 people commuted to home confinement are who the president signed off on in the document titled X, and the number of individuals listed in document titled Y are those with crack powder disparities who the president intended to commute, he wrote. Basically, something from Rosa making clear that the documents accurately reflect his decision. If you can give me a blurb whenever they are ready to suggest to Rosa, I can pass along a blurb. Can you believe this? And then the mass clemency, I say. I mean, I should underline and make that bold. The mass clemency was announced hours later at 4:59 a.m. You think the president was up at 4:59 a.m.? The exchange took place well outside of Biden's known regular working schedule. This is per the New York Post, with White House aides leaking to media outlets months earlier that the Democrat was at his best. Remember that? 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. on any given day. Meanwhile, you have President Trump, who there's video footage of him coming back from his meeting with Putin from Alaska at like 4 a.m, 3 a.m, while he's having phone calls with Ursula and other European leaders. The guy works tirelessly and ceaselessly. This guy literally has like a remote worker schedule, for crying out loud. Also, new bombshell memos. There is no evidence. This is insane. No evidence Joe Biden showed up to 4 meetings at which he pardoned thousands of people, despite White House protocol that he should sign pardons by hand. Instead, he outsourced approval to the least qualified human being to ever hold public office, cackling Kamala. The Democrats are just digging holes for themselves. It's literally accusation equals guilt. Everything they have accused the other side, President Trump, his staff, his cabinet members, everything they're throwing at Robert F. Kennedy Jr., they have done except 100x worse. Here is Pharma Elizabeth Warren, who's got more sponsors from pharmaceuticals than pretty much anybody. Look at the amount of money that Elizabeth Warren has taken over the years from pharmaceuticals, health insurance, in totaling over $10.4 million. Look who's number one up there. Bernie, Mr. Fight the Oligarchy, Sanders, over $23 million. Doesn't it make sense that they're doing everything in their power to obstruct Bobby and going after Bobby Kennedy Jr.? Doesn't it make complete sense? Remember how they kept blaming Trump and everybody on the other side that they're the ones who are engaging in election interference? Check this out. Ever since the mass deportation of criminal illegals, undocumented individuals, notice a trend here. Democratic voters face a registration crisis in every single state practically. They are experiencing a downturn of voter registration. Isn't it funny how the correlation between deporting illegals, undocumented, non-citizens who break the law, is in conjunction with the fact that their registration for the Democrat Party is dropping significantly? What does that tell you? Everybody that voted for them was an illegal practically, for crying out loud. But wait, it gets even worse. The DOJ has found the Biden regime's HUD department targeted Christians by not promoting them because of their religious beliefs. An employee was also ordered to remove posts celebrating Palm Sunday and Easter, but LGBTQ pride posts, oh, those were allowed. Secretary Turner said religious discrimination will not be tolerated, especially anti-Christian bias that goes against Americans' foundational value. Here's the report right here. And then here's the post just a year ago from HUD. This was Pride Month, June 5th, 2024, when we had the worst administration in the history. This is their Instagram post. Happy Pride from HUD. So this is okay, but celebrating Jesus Christ, celebrating Christian values and principles, oh, that was suppressed. Why, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you, why? If they believe in meritocracy, if they believe in equality, if they believe in equity, if they believe in inclusion, why does it seem like everybody's included to come to the table except white Anglo-Saxon Caucasian citizens? Why? Somebody make it sense to me. Well, I think this post kind of sums it all up. Here is Representative Mentally Ilhan Omar saying she condemns the Trump admin's lawless and reckless actions in the Southern Caribbean. Congress has not declared war on Venezuela or Trinidad, and the mere designation of a group as a terrorist organization does not give any president blah, blah, blah garbage. She's referring to the U.S. military that KILLED'd or unalived 11 people in a strike on a vessel from Venezuela carrying narcotics. President Trump said in the first known operation since its administration's recent deployment of warships to the Southern Caribbean. You can see President Trump posted early this morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Trinidad narco terrorists. I can't show the video, but essentially it's a video that's very powerful, sends a very explicit message to all narco terrorists and terrorists in general and gangs and thugs who want to come to our country. And essentially what the video showed was an actual explosion, an attack, a missile attack on this narco-carrying boat that was carrying smuggling contraband into our country. And what does Mentally Ilhan Omar say? She says, shame on you. If you think I was kidding when I say that we have enemies within, if you think that I was kidding when I say the only way to a hypocrite's heart is to break the law and become a criminal, that, ladies and gentlemen, to me is symbolic and emblematic of everything they stand for. You want to know why they exclude everybody except people that look like them? So, I mean, the true racists, the true bigots are the hypocrites, aka the Democrats. That right there, they are willing to sacrifice the safety, concern, and the security of American citizens who have built this country from the ground up. I'm talking legal immigrants too, a lot of legal immigrants, millions and millions of legal immigrants who went through the proper ports of entry, the right systems and processes, not illegally. You know, the big misnomer is that, oh, they hate immigrants, but this could, no, nobody hates immigrants. Legal. Quite frankly, I love immigrants. They're fantastic. They help me build my hotels and great buildings. As long as but they got to be legal, right? It got to be legal, like Professor Nez says. Thank you, Mr. President. I love you. Nobody has a problem with immigrants. My parents were immigrants, and it took them 13 years to earn the greatest citizenship of the greatest country God and man has ever known, the United States of America. But what you guys have been doing, and God, I mean, just it brings chills to my heart just imagining if Kamala would have won. It would have been this times a billion X. It would have been the end of our republic as we know it. I'm not saying that lightly. I am saying that as somebody who has steered clear of making highly hyperbolic statements my whole life and staying away from conspiracy theories my whole life and trying to validate and verify everything that I share with you guys. I'm telling you, without a shadow of hyperbole, it would have been the end of everything, because these guys are only looking out for their own and themselves. They don't care about you and they don't care about me. Whereas President Trump and this amazing revolutionary common sense administration is looking out for all Americans. And that's a fact. I can't wait to get your thoughts on all of this stuff. Then what's next is I will keep you posted on the accountability train. We still need a long train of accountability. We still need to see a lot of charges being filed. We still need to see a lot of people hauled out in front of judges. At the very least, I'm talking Obama, Hillary, all of them, Fauci. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Tap that thumbs up if you love America. You can even do it with your TV remote. Tap that thumbs up. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps us out immeasurably. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the U.S. and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.